The OnePlus 13 is literally around the corner, and credit where it's due because it's shaping up to be one of the most interesting Android devices of this year. And lately, there's been a ton of new details, everything from the official design to the actual expected hardware, all of the specs, that kind of thing, and a recent OxygenOS 15 reveal. So let's get into what's new, what's coming, and what to expect from what could be, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most exciting phones of 2024. If you want to stay up to speed with all things Android, then consider subscribing to 95 Google here on YouTube. We have many more videos like this coming your way, and we'd love you to join the team. Right, let's get some of the design choices out of the way, as OnePlus is actually going to switch things up with some fairly substantial design changes over the OnePlus 12, which was obviously released earlier this year, and it will more align with a lot of other industry trends. The most notable shift seems to be the reintroduction of a flat display, which hasn't actually been seen for a while on OnePlus devices. That was actually last seen on the OnePlus 8T. While there is, of course, a subtle curve along the edge that you can see in these images on screen now, which are official by the way, there is a slight curve along the edge of that glass, but for all intents and purposes, this is a flat display. I gotta say, I haven't been a huge fan of curved displays over the past few years, but I will say the OnePlus 12 did a really good job of it. On paper though, this should give you several extra benefits like reduced light reflections, fewer accidental touches and phantom touches, and it just should be easier to apply things like glass screen protectors and therefore less area for damage if you do happen to drop it, and of course cases should work here better as well. And I do think this is a point of contention within the Android community, so leave us a comment which you think is better and why, curved displays or flat displays. I think I know what the winner will be down in the comment sections below. Anyway, beyond the display, the OnePlus 13 is going to boast a refined overall design with a new textured back glass plate. There's going to be flat metal side rails, which is a bit of a return to form, something like the OnePlus X. I don't know if you remember that device. And of course, there will be that massive Hasselblad branded camera module and naturally the classic alert slide. I'm glad they've kept that one around. And finally, we have also seen some of the colorways that are going to be offered from OnePlus themselves. There's going to be a black, blue and white option, although a leaked image did suggest that a faux wood variant would be available, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that around the launch date, which is in a few days time. From what we know of OnePlus in the past, they always deliver top tier specifications, and this is going to continue once again with the OnePlus 13. They've officially confirmed that it will be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite, or what might have been known as the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 to some of you out there. Just this chip features Qualcomm's custom designed Cryo CPU cores. Is built on the 3nm process and is reported to boast a 45% improvement in single and multi-core performance compared to the already impressive Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, and achieves a 44% enhancement in CPU power efficiency, 40% improvement in GPU efficiency, and that results in a 27% increase in overall power savings. So I'm really excited for this, especially as this is going to perform on this device in the real world. We'll see how it stacks up against its predecessor, because I was very impressed with the performance and power efficiency of the OnePlus 12, which is one of my favourite phones of the year. That's not the last of it though, as the rumours also suggest that the OnePlus 13 will have a frankly massive 6000 mAh battery, up from an already massive 5400 mAh unit on the OnePlus 12. This would be one of the largest we've seen in a smartphone for a long time. The Chinese version will at least have 100 watt fast charging via wire and 50 watt wireless charging. On top of that, we might be getting some kind of MagSafe or charging mechanic as well that has been leaked just recently. OnePlus China's president also posted on Weibo describing it as a magnetic function, so we're unsure if it's going to be adopting the Qi 2 standard in particular itself, but we're very excited to see this, as few Android devices out there are using this tech, and by now we actually thought that it would be quite widespread. Other hardware points were also posted on these Weibo channels of themselves. They revealed that the OnePlus 13 will offer up to 24GB, yes, you heard me correctly, 24GB of RAM and 1TB of onboard storage. And lastly, we had some info on some of the camera details alongside some camera samples, and it appears that OnePlus, or the OnePlus 13, will be using a triple camera setup again, naturally in collaboration with Hasselblad. That'll feature a 50 megapixel Sony LYT808 sensor. For the main sensor itself, this is the same as the OnePlus 12, which I thought was very good. There's a 50 megapixel periscope zoom lens with a 3x optical zoom, sadly it's not 5x this time around, and an f2.8 aperture. And there's going to be a new multi-prism design that allows it to fit more in a compact space. And on top of that, there will be a 50 megapixel ultra-wide with a 128 degree field of view. So pretty much par for the course on a flagship smartphone, at least at this point in 2024. OnePlus is also placing another strong emphasis on the recently revealed OxygenOS 15, and while it probably won't be stable enough for the China launch, they may get their own version of this, it will hopefully be ready to go when this device does reach global markets. There is no word on that as yet, but thankfully OnePlus has revealed OxygenOS 13, giving us a good look of what to expect. The overarching theme seems to be smoothness, UI improvements, and a ton of AI features that are baked in, including circle to search. To enhance the speed and fluidity, they've incorporated something they've called parallel processing technology to kind of optimize animations and reduce lag when switching between applications. They've also slimmed down OxygenOS by up to 20%, giving you a few gigabytes of extra space on board. And visually, I think OxygenOS 15 boasts some really nice touches. It is a far cry from what we're used to from OxygenOS of old, but the design itself does fit with the rest of what OxygenOS and ColorOS, they're merged now, are seeming to do as they move forward with this progression of OnePlus moving back up into the high-end space. There's all kinds of little changes, things like changing the notification center, Gaussian blur everywhere and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's going to be a lot of people out there very happy with this. If you want a close to AOSP build, something that you see on a Pixel phone as well, it's probably not going to be for you, but it is a nice touch nonetheless. In terms of the AI features, this is something that the OnePlus 12 actually swerved, and I really did like the fact that they didn't delve into AI features that much. There are features here like AI upscale, which will improve your images up to 4K resolution. There's AI unblur, which is something similar that we've seen on other devices out there. But one of the coolest ones is AI reflection eraser. I think this is a really cool functionality, as if you take a picture through glass, for instance, it should help reduce the glare and give you a clearer image as a result. And this is one of those features that I do think AI is really useful for. On top of that, there's things like AI search, AI reply to understand conversational context and give you relevant replies. That's practically smart reply for OnePlus phones. Plus, Gemini will now be the default assistant moving forward. And as I noted, circle to search will be bundled in with OxygenOS 15, which we will delve into deeper here on the channel in the coming days when that is publicly available. So there's a lot of the core details about what's happening with the OnePlus 13. You're probably wondering, when can you actually get your hands on this device? Well, as of right now, the China launch is scheduled for a really close October 31st. That's just a few days of this video going live, but the global release date is, well, it's still a mystery. Looking back at the OnePlus 12's release timeline though, you could easily speculate that the global launch might happen sometime in December at the very earliest, or even January, which is typically a month or two after the China launch. Pricing itself is also uncertain, but it could potentially start, or we're hoping it's going to potentially start at $799 like last year's device, which I think is a steal for what you get there. But knowing the Android market, you could expect to see a $50 to $100 price increase because of that Snapdragon chip has increased in price as well. I think that's still, if OnePlus can stay under that $1,000 mark, that would be a really competitive price compared to other flagships, but we'll just have to wait and see how the various trade-ins and discounts do come into play when this does launch. Either way, I have to say I'm looking forward to hearing from what you have to say about this. Which of these rumors are you most excited by? And are you looking forward to the OnePlus 13 at all like I am? Or maybe you're waiting for other devices in 2025 like the S25 series. Even the OnePlus Open 2, I want to see what that brings to the table. Or hey, way down the line, how about the Pixel 10? Leave a comment and let us know, but in the meantime, I'm getting out of here. Thanks for listening. A huge shout out to our channel members on screen now. Right, I have to say, that's about it. I'll catch you in a bit.